Subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell icon for the latest film interviews, features, and recommendations on the movies that matter. Gentlemen, lovely lady, it's so good to see you all. I have to say, I'm very, very excited about what we're doing today. You all made an incredible film that came out 5 years ago. And this, of course, is a reunion to celebrate that. So I'm talking, of course, about Titli, the film that all of you made. And I'm so happy that all of you could be here. We have, of course, today the co-writer and director of the film, Kanu Bahl, the three leading men, Ranveer Shori, Amit Syal, and Shashank Arora, and also Shivani Raghuvanshi, who is, of course, the heroine of the film. So this is really the core team. Gentlemen, ladies, thank you. I'm so glad we could do this. This is a film that I've loved. And Kanu, I've spoken to you, I think, about it frequently. I remember watching it early in the morning in Zurich, because I was going to interview Kanu in the afternoon, and they sent me a link, and I watched it on the iPad. And I remember my hands trembling for a lot of it, because I just was not prepared for the impact it was going to have. And then we did the interview, and then later that evening was the public screening, was a big screening, and I watched it on the big screen the same evening. Now that's not, Titli is not really the sort of film you watch twice in the same day. But I remember it having a really profound impact. It's a beautiful, powerful film. This is a film, of course, which is the story of this family. It's a story of three brothers who live with their father in this squalid home in East Delhi. And, it is a story about violence, about inheriting violence and continuing the tradition of violence. It's the story of this young girl who enters this home as the wife of the youngest brother with the hope to weave her into the family business, which is one of crime. It's a story of wanting to break out of one's destiny, to break free from one's horrific destiny and to really fly. And that's where the title, of course, comes from. I want to jump in by asking you, it premiered in Cannes, of course. That's where the first screening happened in May of 2014, I think. And then it traveled to several festivals. It came out in the theaters only the next year in India. It released theatrically. And yet, it feels like a film that not enough people have watched. It feels like a film that should have been watched more than it was. Kanu, do you agree with me there?
Yeah, probably, because in India when it came out, it lasted all of 12 days. I remember the 13th day was Prem Ratan Dhan Payo with its 5,000 screens. So it pretty much disappeared. Didn't even last the full 2 weeks. And I think, especially in Bombay, it coincided with Mami Week. So yeah, probably the release, the timing could have been better. But then again, we'd been, waiting for a year and a half for it to come out. But yeah, I mean, the film just keeps getting discovered over and over again. I still keep getting messages, on social media of people who are discovering the film. And I think usually, I mean, if we look at it historically, films like this, they get discovered over time. So I guess it's just going to pop up randomly on someone's radar, even long after we are gone, which is great. I mean, I'd rather have a film that lasts.
Sure, that's true. Actually, one that has a longer life. I want to ask all the actors, what did this film do for you? I mean, did it in any way change your lives, or even change, your approach to acting? What did it do for you? I mean, Shashank and Shivani, I know it was your first film. For the rest of you, you all had, of course, worked before, but Ranveer, it was a very different film from the sort that you're usually cast in. I mean, I feel like Kanu gave you a role that, I mean, we're used to seeing you in comic roles, and occasionally, Rajat will give you a dramatic part like Mithya or something, but this one was a side of you that we'd never seen before. And Amit, you too. I mean, what did this film do for each of you?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I agree with you. It was nothing like nothing like I had ever done before. And, due credit to Kanu that he had the faith in me to, for me to play this part. What it did for me, I mean, as an actor, it did a lot for me. I think I grew a lot. And I have to, give a special mention here to Atul Mongia, who was our I think he was our casting director also, and he also helped us workshop a lot. And there were extensive workshops, and it's definitely a part which, like, I think I one of the parts that I prepped the most for in my life. or I mean, at that time it seemed
So
like
being really cruel doesn't come naturally to you, Ranveer?
not at all, not at all. In fact, when I read Titli, it was the Titli's part that I related to the most because I grew up as the Titli in my own house. You know, I have two older brothers. You know, and I've seen some of the, some of the things the film talks about. I've seen them really up close myself. It was not an easy film to make, just like I'm sure it's not an easy film to watch. But I definitely walked away personally with a lot from the film in terms of growth and in terms of the experience I had.
Amit?
I mean, if you're asking me, then I had a little taste of Kanu Behl while doing LSD, Love, Sex and Dhoka. So I knew him, and it's funny how he cast me, because I remember, I don't know if he remembers or not. I was at his place one of those nights, and you were just hanging out and chit chatting, and and I was being funny. So he said, "यार मैं तेरे को लूंगा फिल्म में." अब मुझे मालूम नहीं था कौन सी फिल्म लेने वाला है. So then he cast me in a role like that, and I always kept wondering, why would Kanu, relative to that night, would cast me into something like this? I still haven't been able to understand it, but it was great fun. It was. I remember having a conversation with Ranveer Paji one of the shooting days, जहाँ पे कन्नू और अतुल मोंगिया ने हमारी सबकी मिलके बैंड बजा रखी थी. तो मैं I was sitting in his room, listening to some music, and then I, out of the blue, asked him. I said, "पाजी, ये आप, मुझे तो ऐसा लग रहा है इस फिल्म में काम करते हुए कि मुझे एक्टिंग आती ही नहीं." तो रणवीर कहते हैं कि तुझे आज लग रहा है, मुझे तो शुरू से ही लग रहा है. So yeah, I mean, coming back to seriousness about the film, I think it was a very, it was, I didn't in my mind took it so seriously as obviously Kanu had, and he is a taskmaster, let me tell you, and I think he led all of us that way, and that is why it is so special for all of us, because we never, I think, worked like that before. Because even if you wanted to have fun, it was just it had to be in that area, in that space, not out of it. So you can have fun within being the characters of the film rather than out of it. So it was a great experience, man, and I can comfortably say that I've never had an experience like that yet again. I would like to have that experience, Kanu, but I don't think you repeat your actors, do you, brother?
आपको मैं करूंगा कास्ट.
Famous last words. Shashank,
God.
for you?
For me, this Titli is perhaps the most special thing that came to me. Especially that it was my first. Also, I feel really lucky that I admired realistic, organic performances my whole life, and here I met a director who asked me to audition, and I auditioned, and I did some Mario Puzo ka monologue, and he said, "मेरे को ये वाली acting नहीं चाहिए, मुझे असलियत चाहिए तुझसे." And I feel really lucky to this day that I started off on a note which really shook me, and it shook me out of my comfort zone, and it really affected me. The whole world, the way Kannu told that story, be it the character, be it my family, be it Vicky or Babla or Neelu, it was a life-changing experience. And I feel really blessed that it started off on that note, because after that it all seemed much easier. Every film that I like perhaps wasn't okay, let's not say easier, but it wasn't as it wasn't as much.
You don't remember half of it because you were getting beaten.
I've suppressed those memories. I have suppressed a lot of memories, a lot of trauma. No, but honestly, I feel really, really happy that was the note I started on. I think Titli will, my whole life, perhaps be one of the most special films that I'll ever get to be a part of. And I can't wait. I think Kanu was making Agra very recently. I was like, "Will you put me in the film again?" And he was like, "No." So I feel really.
He doesn't repeat his actors.
Yeah, this is- no, but the pain he's put us through, he must. But no, honestly,
He owes it to us.
it was life changing, and that's an understatement.
Shivani, for you?
Okay, so Titli, more or less was my film school because unlike all of, I'm not from a theatre background. I had zero idea about that world cinema or any other form of cinema except Bollywood. The films I have seen on screen were all Karan Johar, Dharma, Yash Raj. I've literally grown up watching those films. So it was a different experience. Also, I don't know, Titli has been a sort of a learning experience for me. I didn't know because I remember clearly when I read the script for the first time, I went straight to Kanu and I said that ye koi dekhega nahi. Nobody's gonna watch your film. You make it for yourself. So, and he just smiled. He looked at me. He's like, I'm making it for myself. Don't worry about it. I'm making it for myself. And I remember when I audition पे भी जाती थी, I used to perform in a certain way because I had zero knowledge about art or world cinema. Or I don't know. I don't remember very. I remember vaguely that I went to the audition job. I gave the audition and Kandu said, I'm not going to take the name, but why are you acting like that actor? In my head, she's a huge star. That means I'm acting pretty well. What are you expecting? It's so good. And he got really upset. He's like, I'm not looking for somebody who acts like that. I'm looking for somebody who's more real. And I had no idea how to achieve it. And these people really, really helped me. I learned a lot from Titli and from all these people. Like Kanu has helped me a lot. Atul sir, of course, because he was our casting director and associate director. So he helped us during the workshops. So I've learned, like this has been my film school. Like anybody asks me what Titli is for you, of course, because more than just a debut film, this was my film school, all my training and whatever the method you call it, like what's your approach, everything comes from that one film. So this will always be very special. Thank you, Kanu.
And you're so good in Raat Akeli Hai.
I
How much it helped you? तुझे देख तू तो रोती होगी बैठ के मुझे तो करण जौहर आदित्य चोपड़ा बुला नहीं रहे मैं कहाँ फंस गई हनी ईरानी और कनु बेल के बीच में
I know. I literally, like, whenever people call me for auditions and I go, I don't know why they expect me to be very serious or very, like, somebody who knows about cinema and all. I'm like, no.
I don't.
You should just go,
I am really
start discussing costume.
What?
You should just go and start discussing costume. That'll break the ice.
I wish.
See, he helped you again.
This film, Kanu, I want to ask you, I mean, she made a joke about that koi nahi dekhega, aapko hi dekhna padega ye film. But, it is, the word is not inaccessible because it's a very accessible film. It's easy to understand and the emotions are very true and completely relatable. But it's not a pleasant or an easy watch, certainly. It is about family, but it shows you that family is not always your place of safety and comfort and happiness. It talks about a generational cycle of violence. I mean, these are tough subjects, if you like. Did you have concerns about, and does one, as a first-time filmmaker, is one supposed to think about, is this going to travel? Or does one not think about those things because that only then restricts you as a filmmaker? I mean, going in, did you always expect that this will be a film that everyone will get and will enjoy and will be able to appreciate?
So first of all, I think, I don't ever have any concerns about any film that I'm making, whether it's Titli or now Agra, because I think I have tremendous faith in our audiences. I believe our audiences are way, way, way much more mature than anyone makes them out to be. I think they have richer internal lives than probably all of us put together, and some of us who live in this city and do the kind of cinema that we might be delving in. So I think first of all, any filmmaking exercise for me personally comes out of a tremendous faith for my own belief in myself as an audience, and the fact that people are ready to consume or to be part of a conversation. Because I feel like if I want to have that conversation, then it is rife, it's out there somewhere. कमल स्वरूप की एक लाइन मेरे को बहुत अच्छी लगती है. एक बार one of his documentaries ends with one of his children asking him, पापा ये कहानी कहाँ से मिली? And I think his response something is, कहाँ से मिली मतलब सड़क पे पड़ी हुई थी उठा ली. So I was tremendously struck, and that line has stayed with me ever since I've seen that film. I think it's beautiful. So I feel like a story doesn't just germinate from you. It's there. It's already there. It's around you all the time, and a certain time and space is already imbued with that story, and it's ready to share that story and make it a larger conversation. So yeah, no, I mean, never gave it a thought. Plus, I think also we were just so driven, or I when I started out with this idea and again, I didn't start out with this idea. I gradually discovered the ideas of circularity and violence, and oh, ye to family ke bare mein hai film. That just came to as Sharath and me kept writing. So we had not begun with these ideas, but once we did, and I knew how it had connected very deeply to the kind of life I had led or was leading or was trying to make sense of. I think me and then everybody who joined on this journey, and we had some beautiful, key collaborators like Sharath, like Siddharth, who shot the film, like Atul, who was the associate director. All of them filmmakers, very good filmmakers in their own right. They all joined on this journey, and I think everybody together was obsessed with the idea of sharing and making this a conversation full of bigger and bigger ripples, so that everybody's experiences in relation to circularity and the central themes, join in, and it becomes a larger piece. So I think the matter of how the film will be received when it comes out never really, crossed anyone's head, because we were all just so busy making it.
Right. To all the actors, I mean, y'all all said it as a joke, but y'all all made it sound like, and you pretty much said it, that this was a hard film to make. Looking at Kanu, he doesn't look like a taskmaster, but Ranveer, you said that we shouldn't be fooled by that, by what he looks like. I mean, why was it a hard film to make? Was it because of the themes? And did that also play a part in it? I mean, some of those scenes are really hard to watch. Shivani, the scene in which for the first time you're in the car and the two of you go to do that test drive. I mean, that's a hard scene to watch. And Kanu, you keep the camera on the violence. You don't move. You don't shy away from showing the blood. Why was this a hard film to all of you? I mean, can you all sort of recount what it was like making this?
Well, apart from shooting it peak summer in Delhi, and shooting it in the in locations, there were no sets live on location at the slums in what was it called? What Vihar?
Sangam Vihar.
Sangam Vihar. At Sangam Vihar, we shot it at Sangam Vihar. And so apart from physically being a hard film to shoot, it was emotionally very hard because, of course, due to Kanu and Atul, because I think one of the greatest things that Titli achieves is a layer of torment through the film, which is why I said that it's not an easy film to watch. There's no elaborate scenes, maybe, except the violence. But through the film, there is a steady feeling of torment, and I think that achieving that is the victory. I think both Kanu's and Atul's, also Sharath's, because they're co-writers. But I'm saying as filmmakers, I think them managing to get that through the film was, I think, their victory. And of course, we were the tools, or if whatever you want to call it, either the scapegoats or the tools, whatever you want to, however you see it.
I think in addition to what Ranveer has said, see, I mean, when you watch the film, and we all agree that it's a hard film to watch, just the whole idea of making it hard to watch the way it should be. The people involved in it need to go through the same process, because if it is easy for us to do this, then how would that hardness come about on the screen? So I mean, I think these guys consciously made our lives miserable so that it is really hard for us. otherwise, how do you get into it? Because neither of us had worked in something like this before. Like I've seen this life with in close quarters. I'm from Kanpur, and I've seen this life happening around me, but it's not happening to me. So when it's not happening to me, how do you make it possible for me to be able to be a part of it? I think that's what Kanu and Atul, especially, and the writers, everybody, and the whole team achieved somehow, and it was supposed to be achieved. Otherwise, it would have fallen apart.
Shivani, Shashank, do you all have anything to add to that?
I agree actually. Apart from the environment, like Ranveer is saying, and of course the emotional journey of these characters, and the physicality that Kanu required, say from Kanu would say things like "यहाँ पे गिर जा, इसको 4 थप्पड़ मारो." Apart from those obvious hardships, I personally feel there are two views to this. There was a screening I sort of held personally, say for this group of carpenters and this group of laborers and this, these rickshaw guys and it wasn't a hard film to watch for them. They were laughing, man. So it's hard for us to digest this pace. It's hard for us to swallow this, perhaps because we're so alienated from it. But it's almost a light-hearted comedy for someone on the street. They're like, this is the way I see life.
They know the life. They know that life. Yeah.
तो जिंदगी ऐसी है, हमारी ऐसी नहीं है, तो हमारे लिए मुश्किल है देखना. हम थोड़े perhaps ज़्यादा मीठे और मसाले को used to हैं, तो हमें कोई अच्छी मछली अगर छोड़ जाता है, मछली नहीं खा पाते हैं. तो शायद ये वजह है.
Shivani?
Yeah, it has been a traumatizing experience, I would say, but it didn't occur me back then. It didn't occur to me back then because this was my first.
अच्छा, तू तो रो रही थी वैनिटी में, क्या कपड़े पहना दिए हैं मेरे को, मैं तो ऐसी लग रही हूँ, मेरे को तो कोई जॉब नहीं देगा.
Apart from that, because to be very honest, I did not know acting karte kaise hain. So I thought maybe this is how it's gonna happen on every set. Like थप्पड़ मारे तो हम सच में थप्पड़ खा ले रहे हैं. So things like that were really traumatizing, and of course we were certain age, and I thought actors का job easy होता है in my head. But he made us go through so many things. I love Kanu really a lot because he literally हम इतने कठोर हो चुके हैं ना कि अब nothing can make me break. I'm so strong. Let anything come, and I think I can survive. So it was traumatizing, but this time for me, this was the process. For me, I thought that this is how they shoot. So yeah, it didn't occur back then. Now I feel
there was one scene, I'll never forget this, when Shivani and me are supposed to slap each other, and I can't slap Shivani because I'm calling my mother in the middle and being like, "Mama, I have to hit this girl right now. My whole life is changing. I can't do this anymore." And Shivani on set is like, "जोर से थप्पड़ मारना मेरे को, मेरी shot अच्छी नहीं लगेगी." And here I'm crying. I have blood trickling out of my mouth because some chudi of hers has hit me, and it was.
This is because of him.
But मैंने तुझे कितना बचाया तुझे पता है.
Sir, आपकी एक अंगूठी ने मेरा जबड़ा हिला दिया था एक टेक में, but आपने बचाया.
तुझे पता है मैंने तुझे कितना बचाया. I was given complete leeway to slap him in all the scenes, and to slap him in the rehearsals, to slap him in the workshops, and I really kept it down to a bare minimum because I didn't want to. I didn't.
सारी जो आपको करना था ना वो सारी मदद मुझे करनी थी.
Before it got to you, Ranveer, before it got to that point, जहाँ इसको असली में थप्पड़ मारने पड़े, we were the ones who were workshopping with him for 2 months before that, trying not to hit him and make him do what we wanted him to do. And Shashank is here. Eventually जब उसको असली में पड़े अब तभी वो कर रहे हैं, तो it's really unfair कि अब finally हमको बोला जाता है कि असली में मारने को बोला. To our credit, we tried our best कि बिना सच्ची में मारे शशांक से करवा लिया था.
So Shashank has truly suffered for his art, huh?
Yeah, he has. For this one, he has, yeah.
But all validly, because like he said, I'm a brat born in Delhi. I didn't know what it's like to exist in the slum in Delhi. So I think the fastest way, Bachara, he saw fit was okay, this is the only way I'll get to make this in the correct fashion and not, exaggerate the circumstance, which would completely mess the film up. Or
No,
my
also,
chances are,
also, I think I would like to add to this conversation. ऐसे देखा जाए तो स्क्रिप्ट हमारे पास थी और स्क्रिप्ट में एक बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग narrative or dramatic push hai. So there is a thing that the text was saying, but then there was a certain time and space that we wanted to imbue the film with. Now that would have only come with a lot of collective experiences that these guys, the actors, built up during the workshops, and to create a bubble for them where these experiences didn't leak through. These bubbles that had been created for those days of the principal photography, they were already in those bubbles, so that beneath the text, whatever this thing, this feeling of torment that Ranveer is talking about, या आप जो भी बोल लो उसको, this feeling of circularity or violence, like we did so many movements in the workshop where we weren't doing many scenes in the workshop, but we were making Ranveer and my dad walk together, matching their steps. So we were doing a lot of psychological exercises like that, and we were creating this bubble where the unsaid would also translate into the screen and would translate stronger than what the text is, because the text is the text, but you're not really feeling the text. It's what is outside of the frame and what is felt beneath the words that we were all very concerned with eventually being able to transfer through film.
Right. But Ranveer, how did you see Vikram? Because, to me, he's the most fascinating character in the film. I mean, I know the film is about Titli and it's his journey, but Vikram to me is really fascinating because he's, and I love that second scene in the film, which is that beautiful scene where you're all outside the flat and outside the house, and there's two things going on parallelly. The sofa is not going in, and you're losing your patience with the delivery
I don't know
guy.
how many takes we did for that. Oh God!
Oh, wow.
I mean, don't even remind me. I mean, it was like it had literally reached. And I think that this was a repeated experience through Titli. Is where I would go up to Kanu and Atul and say, after about whatever 10 takes, and I would say, listen guys, I'm exhausted. I have nothing else left to give inside of me. But again, I was I used to chabuk maar ke chal phir se, so I mean, like I said, in hindsight, it's a beautiful experience because I feel the growth now sitting here today. But at that time when I was going through it, like I don't know, Amit or
murder them. Let's murder them.
Shivani, one of them said that it was a traumatic experience. So at that time, it is traumatic because you are being pushed beyond your limits.
Right.
But
how did you see him? Because there are moments, so we see we see the cruel side of him. We see the side where he's beating up his brother when he finds out, that he had those 3 lakhs. But then there's that moment where he breaks down and he says, yeah, that money would have helped our home. How did you sort of see him as what was Vikram for you? I mean, was he a bad guy?
No, I mean, no, not at all. See, I mean, like you said, the beating up, let's just put that aside because that is part of life.
Right.
So I think that's why even Shashank needs to get over that, because those are the foundations of that life. That is how a lot of things are expressed in that life. Just by beating up, it can be affection, it can be anger, it can be disappointment. So the beating up, the violence is an expression of a lot of things in that world.
Right.
So as far as Vikram is concerned, Vikram is I would say unluckier than Titli, who at least being the whatever you can say youngest, or I would say spoilt enough to even imagine that he has a choice to get out of this world. Vikram, on the other hand, is, if you ask me, the bigger victim, because he is as the oldest, never gets that choice. As the reigning, as the crown prince or whatever you want to call it, of that affliction being passed generation to generation. So if you ask me, Vikram actually to me is the bigger victim, because he never gets that choice. Right. Of having to leave that. Instead, he has to shoulder the responsibility now of carrying on this tradition, whatever values you want to attribute to this tradition, whether it's a sense of torment, whether it's the violence, whether it's the numerous things which the family represents.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
no, he's definitely not the. I mean, I never saw him as the bad guy playing him.
Right. Right. It's also to me, Kanu, and to all of you. What really struck me was the moments of sort of unexpected humor. Whether it is that scene that we just spoke about, I mean, until it kind of goes out of control, him losing patience with the delivery guys, and at the same time trying to convince his wife, "Don't leave yet. I want her to eat the pineapple cake before she goes to the little girl." Or that scene actually where they're at Neelu's home, where again Vikram says, "हम तो बहुत respect करते हैं हमारे family में
औरतों की बहुत respect है.
I mean, Kanu, was this written, were these written as moments of lightness and levity? Or, I mean, can you talk about that? I mean, just the stray humor that kind of pops up for you and in moments when you least expect it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty much written in, but I don't think it was written in as humor. I think it was written in as conversations or things that would make it more lifelike and more as pithy lines which end up describing character much more beyond them sitting or walking around in those situations. So I don't think it was written in as humor. It was just our attempt to make people talk the way they talk, because they don't know that they're in the middle of this serious film or there's a larger story happening. They're just being themselves, and I think moments like that add to the lifelikeness of what you're watching, and it feels that yes, this probably just is a caught moment.
The other thing I love about the film is that it never sort of spoon feeds you. It kind of leaves these hints and clues, and it's for you to pick up. The moment where the father, of course, says, I think he's telling Neelu, he says that my wife and I went to Vaishno Devi many years ago, and after that I never raised my hands, and that is sort of meant to again convey that this is a circular, it's a cycle of violence. Also, of course, Bavla's relationship. I mean, his orientation. It's sort of never explicitly stated, and it's there for you to pick it up if you want to. And I'm grateful for that. I think that all of us are grateful for just a smart film that doesn't spoon feed everything to you. But Kanu, can you talk about, and maybe this is a question that I should have brought right up to the top, because I read several interviews that you gave around the time of the film's release, and you did say that the germ, one part, I think someone asked you which of the three brothers you relate to, and you said at different points you could relate to all three of them, but it was sort of born from the idea of a difficult relationship with your father, and therefore was it hard to cast him as the father in the film, and was it therapeutic again, as Ranveer said it was for him?
Well, I'm not sure about the therapy bit. I think those conversations about films being cathartic experiences are always overrated. So I'm not too sure about that. Was it? I think it was a difficult decision to cast him. Whether we should have him in the
but film. one of the best decisions you took, I have to say. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a very carefully deliberated decision. Whether how would that affect the dynamic? Also, because it was going to be my first film, I was very inexperienced. I didn't think I doubted his ability as an actor at any point of time. I was just like, me being this first time filmmaker, will I be able to handle that? But I think we were all so devoted to having as much of spatial energy of what we are talking about within the film. I remember Atul and me having one of these final conversations where we were saying, okay, we have to decide, are we going to do it or not? And I remember him saying to me, it's invaluable what he's going to already bring into the film, into the texture of the film, into the unspokenness of the film. And I think it proved to be an amazing decision, because a lot of the unsaid things just, walked right in as he walked into the film. So yeah, I guess just the point where we decided whether or not was maybe, slightly deliberated upon. But yeah, once he was in, then it was quite a smooth ride.
मुझे तो शक है actually, Kanu, कि बहुत बार उन्होंने ना तेरी बात को ना ऐसे समझ के कि इसको पता ही नहीं जो बोल रहा है कर देता। तो बहुत बार ऐसे किया। इसको कोई आइडिया नहीं है यार, क्या पता इसको यार।
You know, one of the things that I noticed about the film, which I have to say, I missed the first few times I watched, but when I was watching it again yesterday, I noticed the irony that this is a home of this is the home of this family that is there is a criminal family, but the music that we hear in the home is Gayatri Mantra is playing. There's a Hanuman Chalisa playing. There is Ram Ratan Dhan Payo. I mean, just the irony of who you see them as, and the fact that in the home, I mean, this older man is of course listening to sort of religious music. But Shashank, tell me about how you sort of viewed Titli, because I think first of all I think it's beautiful, the explanation for why he was named Titli. And again, Kanu, is it true that idea, just the idea of giving the boy a girl's name, also was sort of a little bit autobiographical?
I guess so. I mean, I don't think it was thought of, but I mean, it was just organic because, one of the initial drafts where we still hadn't discovered circularity and violence, we were still treating it as a coming of age film. And, so the idea of the butterfly breaking out of the cocoon, I think that's where it came out of, but maybe, subconsciously probably, but not consciously autobiographical.
Right. So Shashank, I mean, how did you sort of see? I mean, did you have an approach? I mean, I always worry about asking about actors about process, because I know it's sometimes hard to explain. But what was it like, sort of becoming this guy? Because Titli, of course, I mean, this is a sort of reverse metamorphosis in a sense, isn't it? This is a guy who probably was an innocent guy at the very start, who kind of becomes more and more like them. It's a sort of, I mean, how did you sort of see him and his arc?
So, I mean, as an approach, it's quite a clear answer to give. I don't think it's ambiguous at all. As an actor, you have to find a parallel within yourself, with your character. So, I think Kanu and me also had this conversation on set a lot, where he would tell me, this is what Titli is perhaps going through, and I would somehow twist that into what are Shashank's needs? What do I want to run away from? What do I want to escape from? What do I want? Because I can't be Titli. I can't become a character. I can try and find perhaps the closest degrees within myself to that character. So the process for Titli was, after understanding his environment, was just trying to find parallels within myself, things I wanted to run away from, things I didn't like, perhaps. Because if I looked at him like like the youngest brother of 3 carjackers, that would just lead us in a very wrong direction as well. And that was not thematically what Kanu was looking for at all. He was looking for reality. So, we weren't playing a mafia family. We were just, we were playing a family of people who were trying to escape from their own problems, from the poverty, from the violence, from, towards the sexuality of their choice, towards a room of their choice, a bike of their choice. So I just had to find within myself, what I was trying to run away from. And I think I used that during the whole film. And it's the environment you see me in which convinces you that I am playing that character, which perhaps in my head I'm not really going over the things that Titli would perhaps be going over. I'm going over the things that Shashank would do. So that is what the process was.
To Shivani and to Kanu, I was reading some comments about the film, and I saw a lot of people said, "Oh, there's not enough women in the film," and I feel like that was obviously that had to be a deliberate choice. That's on one level what the film is saying, and except that the women that are in the film, and that is Neelu and that is Sangeeta, Bikram's wife, who I have to say is a fantastic actor with such little work. I mean, such little screen time, and still she makes her presence felt. And even that lawyer who comes only for that one scene, it feels like the women that do exist in the film are very strong women. They know exactly what they want, and they make very assertive choices. Can you all talk about that, Kanu? The fact that there's not a lot of women. It's certainly but it's also a story of patriarchy. But the ones that are there are women who know exactly what they want.
Absolutely. I think I mean, I don't want to comment too much on it because I feel anyway it's a film about patriarchy. It's a film about, you know, 4 men in a house, and there's another one of the central protagonists who's a woman who's in this strong face-off with these four men, and we see a lot play out within their dynamics, and I think the film to an extent manages to talk successfully about patriarchy. As far as the characters go and the presence of women and how they are within their characters, I feel like if you go into these spaces and if you meet women from that class, they are all very, 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 very strong because they are so hardened by not just the circumstances that they're put in, but also dealing with their men in a particular way. Their lifestyle, the way they have to weave themselves around the men or choose not to at some point. You know, as Sangeeta does that turnaround, goes and she has another man. She's now living with another man. So, you know, they are women that are stronger than women that you'd find anywhere else, or at least as strong as any woman you would find anywhere. So yeah, I think that's what I've seen growing up. That's what I've observed. So the women couldn't have been any other way in the film.
Right. You know, one of the other scenes that I like so much in the film is the scene between Titli and Neelu, where of course they have to break her hand, and just the calmness with which it's done. I mean, you know, the sort of matter of factness with which it needs to be done, the giving the anesthesia, and then sort of, you know, what was that like to shoot? I mean, I know that these things are really it lies in how you watch it, not so much to shoot, but was that what was that like to shoot?
The mechanics of that scene were difficult. Yeah. It was a very difficult scene technically to shoot.
I fainted that day.
Oh, she fainted, huh?
Fainted
I was
on set.
getting her, she fainted, man.
Like
So I thought I'm going to jail.
I've really, like, I've got a phobia around injections. And when Kanu came and told me that real injections are, because I'm not happy with the prosthetics, I was like, no, you can't do that to me. You can't tell me a night before that you can't. And that too, like, Shashank cannot inject. Like, he's not trained.
Yeah, because I'm an actor, not a doctor, Shivani.
Yeah.
This is not my job. And she's like, air bubble to nahi ja raha hai meri vein mein. Air bubble to nahi ja raha hai meri vein mein. And I'm like, yaar, will you stop shaking so we reduce the chances of you dying. This is no.
ये और यही सीन था. ऐसे ये इन लोग लड़ रहे थे और कानू ने शूट कर ली चुपके से.
You know, when all of you look back at the experience of making this film, it's been now, I would imagine, what, 6-7 years since you all shot it? Because 2014 was when it screened for the first time. What is the one enduring memory you have from making this film? I mean, is there one memory over others that you know, when someone mentions Titli, that comes rushing back to you?
Do you remember in Rocky 3 when the reporters go and ask Clubber Lang, what's your prediction for the fight? You remember that scene?
Right.
That he just turns around and looks into camera and just says one word: pain. If you ask me one word, my memory, pain.
Okay. To the rest of you?
I think my best memory, it's during the shoot, but not of the shoot. When Mr. Ranveer Shori was kind enough to take me to his hotel, and we both plunged into the hotel pool. And we swam like little babies and cursed Kanu and cursed Atul. And had a nice lunch or dinner or something like that. Had a couple of beers, and then we thought to ourselves that we must stop doing this, because the next day we again have to go back to that shithole. We shouldn't get used to this. So that was a great break from. But you know, in jokes aside, I think in hindsight I have no bad memories. But I am sure that somewhere in my head, something or the other has scarred me for life from that shoot, which I can't put a finger at.
Okay. Shivani, Shashank?
Please ask me.
What am I saying? I think everything, like, like how I said that now I feel it was traumatizing, but because I was learning so much on set, like a day prior to my shoot, they were telling me OS kya hota hai, what's a close up. So for me, it was a learning thing. So I was really enjoying it. Like I realized it much later. Oh man, I really don't want to go through the same experience ever again. Maybe one more time, but no, not too sure about it. But otherwise, I was really happy, and especially how he made me feel on set. Like he really made me like feel shit during the workshop. But on set, I used to feel that I'm his favorite because he would really pamper me. He would really, after every shot, because he knew that this is my first film. I've never faced camera before. So he would look at me, and I have this. Till date, I have this habit. Like I look at Zoya, I look at everybody. That was that okay? And till the time my director doesn't look at me and does that, I don't feel that it was okay. So I think all of that made me really like I felt really great while shooting the film. So
Kanu, हमने तेरा क्या बिगाड़ा था यार?
नहीं, but it's kind of dichotomous कि बहुत अच्छा था, मैं बहुत सीख रही थी, बहुत बढ़िया था, मेरा बहुत ध्यान रखा, but trauma था.
It was like
मजेदार ये है कि उसको कम से कम 6-7 साल लगे समझने में कि इसको ट्रॉमेटिक कहते हैं इस एक्सपीरियंस को.
No, it's when I went to other different, like another set, then the treatment and everything was so different. I was like, oh, they're not gonna hit me in real. It's fine. Oh, we're gonna act.
So
Yeah.
I mean, Titli was an elephant. Yeah, I have so many memories from being at Kanu's house for the first time on Yari Road. You know, when he sort of pulled me in a hug and said, "I want you to play this character," and I was so overwhelmed. My first film as a lead, and it's a Diwakar Banerjee and a Yash Raj film, and it's this overwhelming process, and these great actors I'm working with, Ranveer Shore, Amit Sial, and there were so many memories. That place, how starkingly different it was. Of course, the violence. Of course, that the process of working on film. We shot on 16mm, Super 16.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any films in India shot on that format after that. And so it was good, bad, ugly, everything. Yeah. It was a mammoth. I'll never be able to forget it. And not even one part of it. I met such great people through it. I had such difficult times and so many injuries. तो हाँ यार, हर चीज इस वाली की अच्छी है. कुछ एक पल चुन नहीं पाऊंगा मैं.
For you, Kanu?
I think it's just, if you ask me about specific moments, for me, a especially memorable or a difficult moment was the day we were shooting the last scene of the film where Titli goes and apologizes to Neelu. And she says, doctor ke paas jana padega. I remember bursting into tears while we were shooting that. I think I still remember it was the 22nd day of the shoot. It was the middle of the shoot. And that just, because for me, a lot of, that scene was a major reason why I was making the film. So that for me, that moment just never sort of goes away for me. Other than that, I think, yeah, by the second really strong memory is the last day when we were shooting the scene between Titli and Daddy, where he says, Suar Apo. That's the scene we shot on the last day. So I think that stays with me, especially because the amount of energy and the kind of energy that I felt even on the last day of the shoot. And while we were shooting that scene, we knew that we had something special on our hands. And it was such a tough scene to get right. And we had kept it deliberately for the end. Also because it was the last day of the shoot. And I myself was completely exhausted. I mean, I had started hating myself by the 35th day. And I actually, had a conversation. I remember having a conversation with Atul going, why are people looking at me this way on the set? And he said, but don't you know? I was like, no, I'm as much a part of this as everybody else is, So I think I was ready to run away by day 36. And the last 5 days were especially tough for me also to be a part of it. So the last day, just to be able to gather that experience and go through it was difficult and exhilarating. But I think overall the feeling is, just to have, again, such fabulous collaborators. I don't think the film I think the film owes itself to so many ripples that were caused around this central sort of chord maybe that I was holding. But without the contributions of these four or Sharath who wrote the film, or Siddharth who shot it, or Namrata who edited it, or Atul who was, there like the backbone of the film. And I'm pretty sure the executive producers, I'm pretty sure I'm missing a lot of people, but I think just everybody coming together and being focused on creating this beast, just feeling that energy that everybody was there for the film, standing in their own ways, fighting for it. I think that's a lasting memory, and that feeling never fails to go away from the experience.
साउंड वालों का नाम लेते यार, उनको हमेशा भूल जाते हैं
Parul, our production designer.
साउंड वालों को बोल दे नाम, बेचारे हमेशा भूले जाते हैं.
I guess it.
But
and
Rajiv, I've never whatever little work I have done in my life, even after that, I've never worked with a director who went for such an acute sense of reality. I still haven't come across anyone like that who wanted a documentary playing out in front of his eyes. And I had no films for reference as a young actor. I had nobody's acting for reference. What he wanted was acting like, yaar, wo cylinder ke piche matches padi hai, wo meko pakda de. This was the reality of the things. He wanted this thematic reality, which I shudder when I think about it, as how he managed to piece it together bits by bits. And so it was a very effective experience. Good, bad.
It's so true what you say, because it is that authenticity that becomes your entry into this world, and that's why you can sort of stay with the characters and be invested in them. So I fully understand what you're saying. I also want to say here, I've been saying throughout this, it's a hard watch, but I want to clarify that in no way is that does one mean that in a way that one shouldn't watch it. In fact, it's an incredible film that has a lot of power, and the violence is saying something. It's not violence for the sake of violence. It's actually very, very powerful, and it's a film that stayed with me for all these years, and a film I greatly admire. It's a film that I rewatched again yesterday, I think for the 5th or 6th time, and to for it to still have that power and that to still be discovering new things. I don't know a lot of films that endure in that manner, and that you can still discover things that you didn't see the first, the second, the third, and the fourth time, and that you're still finding. So really, thank you to all of you for making an absolutely wonderful film. I think it's I really hope that people discover this film. For anyone that's watching this interview that hasn't watched the film, it's now streaming on Amazon Prime Video. Discover Titli. You will not be disappointed. It's really a film that will affect you in ways that you really need to understand for yourself. But thank you to all of you. Thank you, Kanu. Thank you, Ranveer. Thank you, Amit. Thank you, Shashank. Thank you, Shivani. Thank you for an incredible film. Thank you for opening your hearts and giving us a sense of how you all made this film. I really enjoyed this film very much.
Rajiv,
enjoyed is a tough word to use on this film, but it's one that stayed with me. Yes,
Rajiv, thank you for making an already special film even more special by chatting about it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all of you.
Thank you for having us.
Guys.